ball tails away. And second. Off-speed pitch grounded down the line. Scooped up by Lujan. He throws. Makes the play. Fires over the first. And they're able to get him. Strike him out, throw him out. 2 down.
10 seconds out left. Yeah.
What a move. Ariano on the inside for Terranova. This one's going to be tight. Wong going to try to touch it at the wire, and I believe she got it. There's Gibbs for 3. Beats the shot. Wong. Oh, Jeremy.
Hada in motion, and he's blocking for Jeffrey. Jeffrey gets past the line of scrimmage, and now he's got room to go. Now he's looking.
And welcome to this MCTV Sports production of high school basketball. This is the PAL Tournament Championship night. First it's the girls and then it's the boys. Hello everyone, I'm Kenny Melch alongside my broadcast partner Bill McCarthy. And Bill, we've got Westmoor and Menlo-Atherton, number 1 from the north, number 1 from the south. They're ready for an old-fashioned north-south tussle.
Well, what more can you ask for? The top 2 seeds have made it to the championship game. They both come in with stellar records. Anything can happen tonight.
Speaking of their records, MA comes in with a record of 21-5 overall. They are led by their head coach, Markeisha Coleman. And on the other side, led by Mike Keogh. The Westmoor Rams are 20-6 overall. Both of them arrived with victories last night in the PAL semifinals. First, it was Westmoor topping Hillsdale by the score of 41-25. And then later on, it was Menlo-Atherton beating Half Moon Bay 54-45. As you take a look at the brackets, that's how they arrived. And we'll pause for the playing of our national anthem. Last night, once again, with that 41-25 victory, Westmoor over Hillsdale. Yasmin Gu scored 14 points, 9 rebounds, and had 6 assists in that game, Bill. Westmoor was down 19-15 at the half and only allowed Hillsdale 6 points in the entire second half, 0 in the third quarter when they switched to that zone.
Well, they're a versatile team, and what I'm looking for in this matchup tonight is the size of MA versus the speed of Westmoor. In addition, the experience of Westmoor starting 5 seniors against the youth of Menlo-Atherton starting 2 seniors, a freshman and 2 sophomores.
Excellent point. They're currently announcing the starting lineups. Starting with Westmoor, Marlene Alcantara, 5-foot senior, number 2. Yasmin Gu, the leading scorer, number 10, a 5'9" senior, averaging 13 a game. Brianna DeMagas, number 13, a 5'4" senior. Number 25, Nora Alatawa, 5'9" senior, and Tiara Cobbins, a 5'9" senior, number 33. Once again, 5 seniors for Westmoor. And now we turn to the youth, as Bill McCarthy so aptly mentioned, for Menlo-Atherton. Sarah Howell, a senior, 1 of 2, number 11, she starts at 1 guard. Lana Bear, a sophomore, starts with her sister, number 24, Naomi Bear, who is the other senior. At 1 forward, Megan Sparrow, number 31, she's a sophomore. And then the freshman, like you talked about, Bill, Greer Hoyam, she was a factor last night in MA's win.
Well, like you said, Westmoor had to come back. For Menlo-Atherton, they had to fight off a comeback last night. They got out to a pretty good-sized lead, but Half Moon Bay just stayed in there and made a game of it in the second half.
And the Bears ended up winning 54-45, and actually MA was led in scoring by a girl that came off the bench, Carly McClanahan, number 30. She's only a freshman, so you talk about youth. It's not only in the starting lineup for MA and Coach Coleman, she's got some young players off the bench as well.
You know, another factor in this game, too, is Westmoor's experience in these kind of games. They're the defending champs. Obviously, with a senior-laden team, they had the experience playing last year as juniors, so they know what it takes to get it done.
Westmoor has won 2 county titles in their history last year, 2014, and then way back in 2004. MA has won 1 county tournament championship. That came in 2008 under legendary coach Pam Wimberly. Tonight's officials Joe Thornock, Mark Gray, and Todd Zio, and we're ready for tip-off here in the championship game of the 2015 PAL tournament, and it's Yasmin Gu and Westmoor controlling the tap. MA starts in man-to-man. That's Cobbins. She played big last night. Gu, left-hander, does it all. Alcantara from deep. Can't find the range. First rebound goes to Sarah Howell, and a steal by Gu. She can't get the bunny. Back the other way comes Naomi Baer. Drive with the Euro step in the lane. That was pretty crafty, Bill.
Well, they're not holding anything back early on. They're both going at each other, end to end so far.
Gu tried a dangerous pass. She's great at drive and kicks.
Reset.
Once again, she had 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists last night in Westmoor's victory over Hillsdale. They try to get it to Gu, but she is being smothered there defensively by Naomi Baer. And if you're Markeisha Coleman, head coach for MA, you got to be keying on Gu.
Well, she seems to be the player that's going to handle the ball a good deal for Westmoor.
MA runs a 2-3 zone when Westmoor takes it out of bounds underneath. Cobbins to Alcantara. She misses from long range again and again. Naomi Baer with the rebound. Underneath, that's Hoyam. Rebound, Gu back the other way. This is where Westmoor is in excel mode, and Gu count the bucket. Really well done in transition, Bill.
She made a nice little move. Couldn't quite see it on the replay there. Just a little slight look away to the player to her left in order to get that opening to go in for the layup and get the foul.
And Westmoor takes the lead. Little 1-3-1 full court trap. Contact, no call. Cobbins had great position, and boy, Naomi Baer just bounced off Cobbins like a trampoline.
Literally bounced off, and you know, there was no foul there. She had her position.
Nice out of bounds play, and that's Sparrow. MA up 1. Gu may have traveled, no call. Penetration, out of bounds. Nowhere really to go there for Brianna DeMagas. So MA will show that zone again.
And Westmoor's countering with a pretty much a spread offense here with just one player in the post.
Spin left by Gu. Rebound, Hoyam. Sparrow finds Howell, who bangs down the tray.
Howell for 3.
I'm not sure what Westmoor was doing on defense there. There was about 3 players open on the perimeter.
Great ball movement and a nice unselfish pass there by Sparrow. She could have launched that 3 also.
MA is extending that zone, trying to take away Westmoor's outside shot. And
now we see Westmoor hesitate. Alcantara, who missed her first 2 3-point attempts, had an open look as Gu penetrated and found her. She hesitated, gave it to Demagus. She hesitated and double dribbled.
I think that's where the height factor comes in. She was, aware of possibly getting a shot block. Wasn't even aware she was wide open.
Here's the Westmoor Rams 3-quarter 1-3-1 trap. No problem for the Bears. And it's Hoyam finding Sparrow. And it's 9-3 timeout Westmoor and Coach Keogh.
Well, MA looks well prepared for this game at this point. Their half-court defense has certainly contained Westmoor, and on the other end, they've been attacking the basket, building a 6-point lead. I think this timeout here is just trying to stem the tide before it gets out of hand. MA certainly has got a little momentum going for them, and Westmoor wants to just get control of this game.
Coach Keogh in his third year with a career record of 63-19, 20-6 this year, 12-0, PAL North Division champs for the third year in a row. Not hesitating that time from long range was Casey Liang. Offensive rebound try, also no good. Rams a little bit off the mark thus far.
Yeah, they seem to not be exactly sure what they want to get done on offense.
Foul on the rebound. And it goes against Naomi Bear. So Westmoor, just with that 3-point play from Gu. So we approach 4.5 to go in the first. Inside, nice move, may have traveled, no call, Nora Alatua. 1-3-1, 3-quarter trap.
Well, I think that's certainly one of the things Westmoor wants to accomplish, is trying to get it inside like that.
And they force a turnover. Demagus with the steal. Cobbins to Demagus. Very long. Had to change her shot because of that height you talked about, Bill.
Well, the other thing, too, is she didn't really get the ball in a great position. She couldn't use the backboard where she got it.
3-point attempt by Howell. No good. Here comes Gu, where she excels. Contact, no call. Missed the layup. Here comes Sparrow and the Bears. Dish inside to Hoyam. Can't get it. Gu dives. MA's got it. And a reaching foul against Yasmin Gu. Her first.
That is her first.
Westmoor in their man-to-man against this sideline out of bounds. Screen up top. And a missed shot there for Lana Bear.
Well, it's a man-to-man, but they really sag off and defend the paint.
They stay in man on the out of bounds underneath. Held ball. Gu gets in there. And it stays with the Bears. Here comes Ofasili. She gives Hoyam a rest. MA with their first league championship since 2009 this year. Through 2006 to 2009, they won 4 straight. Driving foul. Cobbins will send Naomi Baer to the free throw line. MA also won a championship back in 2001, winning the PAL South. So that is their 6th title in their school history.
Well, they certainly have a tradition down there of strong women's teams.
Naomi Baer makes the first free throw. Senior averaging 6 points a game this season. 43% field goal shooter, 67% free throw shooter. She made 1 of 2. Couple substitutions in for Westmoor. That was Araya Perez, number 4 with the ball now.
And Westmoor still trying to figure out how to work against this zone of Menlo-Atherton.
4 on the shot clock. 3-point attempt. Doesn't draw iron. And it's a shot clock violation. At least Casey Liang, one of the co-captains, knew that the clock was winding down, but not a great shot on that possession for Coach Keogh and his girls.
Yeah, and Westmoor is 2 of 11 in their shot attempts. And many of those coming from the 3-point line.
Oh, a driving attempt at the hoop and a big block shot by Tiara Cobbins, the 5'9" senior center.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how that one wasn't a foul.
There was some contact, that's for sure.
She was not stationary that time.
There's Seeley. Seeley going against Cobbins and throws up a wild underhand hook, if you will, Bill.
I don't know, I think maybe she had that planned all along, a little scoop shot there.
Nonetheless, it goes and opens up a 7-point lead for the Bears. They had a nice ceremony before the game. It's a great tradition that the PAL does before the girls' championship game. They announce the all-league selections from both the North and South. Before the girls, they do the girls, and before the boys, they do the boys. So we'll mention some of them in just a minute. From the corner, Alcantara still can't find the mark. Rebounds Seeley. Here comes MA in white, moving right to left here on MCTV Sports. Inside, getting fouled there was Carly McClanahan, the freshman off the bench who led MA in scoring with 12 points last night in MA's 54-45 victory over Half Moon Bay. And the freshman knocks down her first free throw. I'd like to thank our statisticians, Megan Wong, Bridget Lee, Jasmine Dong, Mariko Wayne, and Nikki Huey. Nikki Huey, a Mills alumni from the class of 2009, an all-league selection at that. Both free throws made by the freshman. It's a 9-point lead for the Bears. Westmoor struggling against this zone defense, Bill.
Well, one thing MA is going to have to be aware of, which I'm sure they are, is that Westmoor can get back into the game pretty quickly if they start hitting some threes.
Another drive and kick. Alcantara is 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. She's had good looks as Gu has set her up nicely. Good defensive position there by Alatua, 5'9" senior. Number 25 for Westmoor, stops that drive.
Well, as we saw last night, Kenny, shooters got to keep shooting. They might not shoot as well in the first half, and then they can light it up in the second half, like Matsuno did for Mills last night.
Yeah, when he hit 7 3-pointers. Here's Seeley with the and one. Boy, she's got that scoop shot down, Bill.
Yeah, I think maybe she really did have it planned on that first one now. Maybe that's her go-to shot.
Let's take a look at it. Yeah. She's got it, Bill. And she knocks down the free throw for the three-point play. This lead is 17-5.
Nice shooting touch from the free throw line, too, for Seeley. Well, Emmy's looking very comfortable right now, and Westmoor is not.
Westmoor, the defending county champs from last year. MA hungry. Under their first-year head coach, Markeisha Coleman. Goes 21-5 overall, 11-1 in the South. And in her first year, that's unheard of. And a first three-pointer, and it comes from Nora Alatua, breaking a 6.5-minute field goal scoring drought. Foul along the baseline drive. Cobben's going to come back.
Well, like I said, if the outside shooters for Westmoor start to warm up, they can close this gap pretty quickly.
Bill, is it possible to go 21-5 in your first year and win the PAL South at 11-1?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
Absolutely, anything's possible. They've got a good mix of some young players with a couple of veteran players.
That was a two-pointer by Lana Bear just on the line. 5 seconds on the clock, and they're calling a foul on the drive. And it's going to go against Lana Bear as Gu went to the rack. They'll have 5 seconds left here in the first quarter. Try to get this in single digits with a 2. Liang to Demagus for 3. Shot was blocked, rebound, and reverse almost by Gu at the buzzer, but she couldn't get the roll. 19-8.
That would have been an outstanding shot by Gu, though.
We'd like to give the Chamber of Commerce big thanks for sponsoring MCTV's coverage of this PAL tournament. The Chamber of Commerce is a non-profit association that promotes and supports the growth of business in Millbrae. The Chamber also provides information about great places to dine, shop, and stay when you're in Millbrae. If you'd like to join, contact millbrae.com or call 697-7324 for more information. Thanks again to the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. Once again, you are watching MCTV Sports. I'm Kenny Milch along with Bill McCarthy. And first quarter statistics for Menlo-Atherton. They were led in scoring by Ofa Seeley off the bench with 5. Megan Sparrow had 4. With 3 each was Sarah Howell and Naomi Bear. And with 2 each, Lana Bear and Carly McClanahan. Leading rebounder was Naomi Bear and Megan Sparrow. They each had 3 rebounds. With 2 assists was also Naomi Bear. For Westmoor, they had just 8 points. Alatua had 5 of them, and Gu had 3. Gu's got 3 rebounds, and Casey Liang's got 2 assists.
To begin the second period.
After all that, Westmoor's down by 11. They start out with the ball and a bucket here. They get into single digits, and explosive like they are, they can get right back in it, Bill.
Well, 19 points is pretty impressive in the first quarter. And again, it's not like MA's playing a fast-paced game. They're running their offense, and they're playing their defense, and they've earned this 11-point lead.
Still employing that 2-3 zone. And the officials are going to have Yasmin Gu take off some of her jewelry. And she just happens to be next to someone she knows. So she's going to give it to him.
Well, let's hope it's someone she knows.
Yeah. And now we're set. Ball's tipped out of bounds. We're talking about the PAL All-League team and that nice ceremony they had. For the South, Brianna Deckman from Cappuccino was the MVP. On the first team in this game for Menlo-Atherton, Greer Hoyam, the freshman.
Now, one thing I noticed here, Westmoor's trying to go in-out, but MA's not really letting them do that.
Casey Liang with that 3-pointer. Cuts it to 8. Also from MA on the second team, Sarah Howell and Lana Bear. Steal by Gu. Here she goes. Hesitation drive, and she's hammered. She'll go to the line. And making honorable mention was Ofa Seeley. On the north side, co-MVPs, Yasmin Gu, of course, of Westmoor, along with Ariana Sheehy of Terra Nova. Also making it to the first team was Casey Liang for Westmoor. Second team, Cobbins and Demagus. And making honorable mention from Westmoor was Alatua and Alcantara. So both teams well represented for all leagues. Gu made 1 of 2, and Cobbins was fouled on the offensive boards. So a couple free throws here, and it's back to 5, Bill.
31, Sparrow, that is her second.
You didn't think
Cobbins will shoot 2.
Westmoor was going to run away with this, or was going to let MA run away with it.
Now, typically when you have a game, a championship game like this with 2 pretty evenly matched teams, you can see some disparities in the lead, but usually one's going to be able to come back and make a game of it. And of course, we expect nothing less from Westmoor. And they do close it to a 5-point gap.
Cobbins with her first 2 points of the night. And we officially, here in the second quarter, have a game. Seeley up top. Swing it over to Sparrow, launches from 3. Rebound Liang. They give it to Gu. Gu with that nice hesitation. Look at her set up her teammates. Look at that athletic play by Gu, diving out of bounds to save it.
Unfortunately, she wasn't able to get it to a teammate,
Westmoor
but
ball.
Menlo-Atherton goes and turns it right back over to him.
She just may be the best athlete in basketball for the PAL, North or South. And maybe the best all-around basketball player. She does so much. She reminds me of Marquise Adkins from Mills of the boys.
I certainly don't disagree with you on that count. It'll be fun to watch Marquis play in the next game.
Oh yeah, the host Mills in the championship, taking on Sequoia, who upset Half Moon Bay last night. And boy, Mills pulled off that 3-point victory over Burlingame. Boy, was that exciting. Coach Coleman wanted a foul on that last shot attempt, did not get it.
Now there's been some contact down under the MA basket that we haven't seen too many whistles.
10 fouls, 5 apiece thus far here in the first half. Liang, stop and pop, just a little long off the iron. Back the other way, here comes Lana Baird. McClanahan goes inside to Hoyam, and Cobbins went for the block, and maybe Coleman, after lobbying for a foul in the last possession, was able to find some success and get the call.
Well, I think that one was a little bit easier to call because of Cobbins swinging the arm, and I tell players that I've coached over the years, you swing the arm, you're probably going to get the whistle.
Hoyam misses her first attempt. Or made it, excuse me, and makes them both. She now has 2 points. And the lead is back to 7 for Menlo-Atherton. Looking for their first county title since 2008. Second quarter here on MCTV Sports. We are live, by the way, as you well know if you're watching either on the internet or on your smartphone, on your computer, or on TV if you have the Millbrae channel. This is a landmark occasion.
And
For
don't
Andy
forget about
Pittman.
the iPads, Kenny.
Yeah, the iPads also. I was going to say, Andy Pittman and Randy Sahai have worked so hard at MCTV over the course of the last 17, 18, 19 years or so, and we've come to this point. where we're live. Last night, 4 semifinal games. Tonight, 2 championship games. Cameras look great in Mill's beautiful new gymnasium. It's like a match made in heaven.
And I've got to give you credit. 4 games in a row yesterday. You're on your way to 2 games in a row tonight, so am I. I didn't do the 4 games yesterday, so hopefully your voice is in good shape.
Well, with the excitement that occurred in this gymnasium last night and what we expect to have tonight, I don't see that being a problem. We talked about a match made in heaven between MCTV Sports and this new Mills Gymnasium, and now we've got a third member of the match, and that's Mills boys making it to the finals. This is like a perfect Cinderella story. Now all Mills has to do, Bill, is win the game.
And I believe we mentioned last night that it would be their first county championship if they were to do so.
That's right.
Of course, it won't be anything easy. Sequoia looked very good last night.
And Sequoia is looking for their first county championship, so no matter what, either Mills or Sequoia will win their first county title tonight. Both teams very hungry, very talented as we get back focused on the game at hand.
Now Westmoor had a little bit of a run there, I believe about a 6-0 run, and MA has kind of slowly built it back up to a 9-point lead.
They cut it to 5 at one point, but then have had 4 straight empty trips. Shot clock winding down now at 4. Inside, that's Hoyam, and she's fouled by Cobbins, and Cobbins is a little surprised, but she did what she did last time, Bill, and she's swatting down with the arm instead of going straight up.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an easy call for a referee.
Hoyam will shoot 2.
And, you know, still players, you know, even in the NBA don't quite understand sometimes why they get called for it.
Misses her first. She's 2 of 3. Now make it 3 of 4. All 3 of her points have come recently and from the free throw line. 10-point lead for MA.
Now what I've noticed is when Westmoor does get the ball inside, that MA is not sagging off as much. They're still defending the perimeter.
What a move by Gu. Went around 2 defenders. She just couldn't finish. Rebound Sparrow. Here comes Lana Bear.
Well, Gu has had contact on just about every one of her shots.
3-pointer for McClanahan. Rebound Liang. Goes ahead to Araya Perez. Nothing happening yet, but watch out for Gu. Goes around a couple more defenders, draws the contact. No call, but makes the shot, Bill. You just can't stop yourself from being amazed by her athleticism.
No, she's a good player, and she uses her skills quite well.
Seeley likes that elbow jumper. Cobbins likes that rebound.
And I'm a little surprised. Gu is definitely predominantly left-handed, and so far MA doesn't seem to be taking that away.
Well, it's interesting because she does 2 things. One, she starts out her move going to the right, and then she crosses back over to the left, or she hesitates and turns away from the basket, and then she spins back towards the bucket. If you watch here, when she starts her move, away from the basket, over to the right, cross back to the left. Nice replay there by our MCTV crew. Timeout, Westmoor, their second.
Yeah, and I mentioned with her, her shooting percentage is not very good at this point, only making 2 of about 10 shots, but she's gotten contact on every one of those shots.
Bill, we'd like to thank the city of Millbrae for providing generous support for programs like this one. We want to thank the city of Millbrae. They have a long-standing tradition of supporting public access programming on MCTV, and we look forward to a great continued partnership. If you'd like to find out more about the city of Millbrae, check out the city website at www.ca.millbrae.ci.us. Thanks again to Millbrae, a place in the sun.
You know, with this poor shooting that Westmoor has, it's also taken away another element of their game, and that is the full court press. They're not able to press after made shots, which is allowing MA to kind of control the pace of this game.
We have them at 5 of 28 for 19%. The rebounding battle so far, 10 for Westmoor and 12 for MA. Liang is at the free throw line.
And Westmoor is definitely going with their small lineup here.
Liang with 3 points on the night, hit that one tray. She misses the free throw and a chance to cut deeper into that MA lead, which at its biggest was 11. Sparrow shuffled her feet, no call. Inside to Seeley. Seeley, no good. Rebound, Rams. Here comes Gu. Stays with the left, she's fouled out top. I believe Seeley got her.
Yeah, a little push in the back there.
And MA's over the limit, so Gu will go to the line.
Now, on that last MA possession, I had mentioned that Westmoor has a smaller lineup out there. Gu's actually their point guard, and they're playing center on defense, that they went to a 2-3.
Gu makes the free throw. She's now 3 of 4 from the line. 7 points to lead all scorers, make it 8.
Well, she is single-handedly keeping Westmoor in this game.
And the deficit for the Rams is now 6, and their head coach Mike Keogh. Steal there by Sabrina Tam. Just up from the JVs. Makes her presence felt. Traveling called against Tam.
Tam was heading to the basket before she really had the ball.
Three-point attempt for Howell is good. Her second of the game, and it's back to a 9-point lead.
Yeah, I was about to say that Westmoor seems as though by going to that zone, they're kind of looking to test MA's ability to score from the outside, and Howe kind of answered it with that 3 there.
Three-point attempt off the mark from Araya Perez. Minute 20 until intermission. Howell tries to dump it in, and like you said, Bill, Gu playing center, fronting the post, and Hoyam, and Gu gets the steal.
Yeah, and an ill-advised pass there. She was definitely being fronted by Gu.
There she goes on the drive, and it's blocked by Hoyam. Here come the Bears. And Lana Bear to Sparrow. I believe that was a 3-second violation called against MA.
Yeah, that was Hoyam spending a little too much time in the paint.
40 seconds left here in the second quarter on MCTV Sports. Live from Mills High School. Three-point attempt for Gu, off the mark. Hoyam with the rebound. That's spelled H-O-Y-E-M. First name Greer, G-R-E-E-R.
Well, Gu is doing everything she can to keep Westmoor in this game, despite not shooting very well.
Howell misses a 3. And the rebound goes to Tam. Tam to Perez. Three-point attempt is good from deep by Liang. You talk about a momentum 3 Bill, that just may be what Mike Keogh ordered here to end the half.
Well, they were able to cut the lead by 6 rather. They were down 11, they're now down 6.
And we've reached halftime here on MCTV Sports. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with the second half here on Championship Night. MCTV Sports. We'll see you in a bit.
Millbrae Community Television would like to thank the following: the City of Millbrae, Millbrae, a city in the sun; the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce, the Magnolia of Millbrae, Alma Masola. Thanks again from Millbrae Community Television.
We're back live here on MCTV Sports on the campus of Mills High School in their beautiful new gymnasium, which has been host to the PAL tournament semifinals last night and championships tonight. At halftime, Menlo-Atherton leads Westmoor 27-21. Hello everyone, once again I'm Kenny Milch alongside Bill McCarthy, and neither team really shot the ball very well, Bill.
No, they didn't. I mean, so far, I think the factor has been MA's size and patience, which has had them in control of the game most of the way, even though Westmoor was able to chip into that 11-point lead in the second quarter to put them where they're at right now.
MA was 8 of 25 for 32%. 9 of 11 from the free throw line, very impressive. 14 rebounds. Their leading scorer was Howell with 6, but they got even distributions up and down. 7 different players scored in addition to Howell. It was Seeley with 5, Sparrow and Lana Bear with 4, Naomi Bear with 3, Greer Hoyam 3, and then with 2 points, it was Carly McClanahan. And we go to the Westmoor statistics, and they were led in scoring, of course, by Yasmin Gu. She had 8. Casey Liang 6. Alatua had 5. And it was Tagau, check that, Cobbins with 2. 6 of 30 was Westmoor from the field, 20%. 6 of 8 from the line, 75%. Rebounds, 14-13. It was MA over Westmoor in that category.
Yeah, and the majority of those 30 shots for Westmoor came from beyond the three-point line.
Casey Liang with 2 huge three-pointers. One during a scoring drought where the Rams could not find a bucket, which helped get them going. And then, of course, that one at the end of the second quarter to make this lead only 6 for MA. And it was as much as 11 at one point in the first half.
And Westmoor has come out with a man-to-man, a switch from that 2-3 zone that they ended the first half with.
Nice defense there by Gu. Rebound Alatua. And Gu sets up Liang. Now Cobbins. Yasmin Gu, co-MVP of the North, finds Liang. Bank wasn't open that time. And Liang looks like she was whistled for a frustration foul. Bill, you talk about those a lot.
Yeah, well, in all the years that I've coached, you see that, and watched basketball, you see that so often. A player makes a bad decision on the offensive end, wants to make up for it, tries to go for the steal, and invariably is going to get called for that, what I call frustration foul.
Or even in that case, just a missed 3.
Ooh, nice play there by Gu.
She blocked the shot of Lana Bear. Quite ironic. The MA Bears have 2 girls with the last name of Bear, but it's spelled B-A-E-R, and one of the Bears, Sparrow, misses that shot. Loose ball, girls diving on the floor and back the other way, and a spin and a foul. Brianna DeMagas may have double dribbled, may have traveled, but neither was called, and she got sent to the charity stripe.
Well, whether she double dribbled or traveled, she took on 4 MA defenders and ended up at the free throw line.
Well done. Westmoor is ranked 7th in the Central Coast Section Division II rankings according to Max Preps, one of the greatest high school websites ever created. Right behind Mountain View at 6th and Los Gatos at 5. And a pair of free throws. And this is a 4-point game, Bill. Driving, Banker off the mark, but retrieving her own rebound is Naomi Bear.
I was a little surprised Westmoor didn't pick up full court. Goop picked up her player full court, but everybody else retreated back. I thought Westmoor might make that adjustment in the second half to kind of pick up the pace of the game.
Or go back to that three-quarter 1-3-1 trap. Gu with a steal, almost, and it is a steal for Gu. In transition, Yasmin tries to find Cobbins, turnover, but MA gives it right back. Gu finds Liang. Alatua, shot tipped by Sparrow, taken by Bear. She goes to the rack and she's fouled. She'll go to the line. That's Naomi Bear. She's the senior. Lana Bear is the sophomore.
Foul number 10, Gu. That is your second.
Only Gu's second, and that would be the worst nightmare for Coach Keogh, is his co-MVP to get in foul trouble.
Well, I get the impression she's a smart enough player to avoid getting into foul trouble. And we haven't heard a whole lot of whistles tonight. They're letting them play out there.
Bear missed the first, made the second. She's 2 of 4 from the line, now has 4 points. Even distribution for MA in the scoring column. Once again, 7 players have scored out of their 28. They lead by 5 here in the third quarter in the championship game. Liang to Gu. Gu to Cobbins. And she finishes inside. And Bill, it's just so impressive how Gu sets up all her teammates, whether it's Cobbins inside or Liang outside.
Well, she's got great court awareness. Had a tough time getting that one out, but she definitely had Coggins in her peripheral vision as she was making that drive to the hoop. And again, like you said, she kind of made that hesitation move to create the opening for Coggins.
And there was a nice replay as MA calls a timeout. Gu getting it done. Many thanks go to the Magnolia of Millbrae for sponsoring this event. The Magnolia of Millbrae is a welcoming place for seniors who want luxurious living conditions with a swimming pool, fine dining, and a gated covered parking garage. For more information, please contact themagnolia.com or call 697-7700, or you can call toll free at 1-888-860-6915. MCTV Sports is coming to you live here with the PAL San Mateo County Championship game, all put together by our fine PAL Commissioner Terry Stogner. This is the finale. Westmoor and MA each with 1. Check that, Westmoor with 2 county titles in their pocket. The defending champs, MA with 1. Coleman in her first year for MA as the head coach trying to get one. There's a steal by Cobbins. Here comes Gu. Gu with the finish, and it's a 1-point game, Bill. And a violation on the inbounds by Sparrow. A little confusion with Seeley, and Westmoor has a chance to take the lead.
Well, they've just been hanging in there and hanging in there.
Demagus, count it. Assist to Alatua.
You know, and obviously, as I said earlier, you'd expect nothing less from #1 seeds.
Westmoor with their first lead since they led 3-2. when Gu made that three-point play.
And it's MA now that was so comfortable with their offense early in the game that has become a little stagnant with their offense. And Seeley there with the 15-footer, a miss of the 15-footer.
Battle for the rebound, held ball, and it's Westmoor's.
Westmoor ball.
Well, the Mills Vikings girls team was knocked out on Wednesday, but there is one semi-Mills representative, at least way back when. Haley Grossman is an assistant coach for MA. She played at Mills some years ago. Cobbins, DeMagas. DeMagas working hard defensively is Bear, and Bear wins that battle as DeMagas is whistled for traveling.
Yeah, I think DeMagas would have been better off just taking the 15-footer that she had instead of trying to penetrate a little bit more.
MA with the ball. They're ranked number 4 in the Central Coast section for Division I. Great defense by Liang, but Westmoor didn't come up with it, and we have a potential 4-point play as Seeley bangs the tray. Alatua fouls her, and boy, we'd love to have a replay on that, and here it comes. MCTV Sports on top of it. Loose ball. Watch the foul after the shot.
Seeley is shooting one.
Good acting there by Seeley, but there was contact.
There's definitely contact, and nice shooting form from three-point line for her.
Boy, you can't get a better shot camera-wise of that play, as our cameraman stuck with the shooter and didn't follow the ball, and we got the replay. The only thing is Seeley didn't make the free throw to finish the 4-point play, Bill.
Well, I think she'd be pretty happy hitting the three.
Yeah, and giving her team back a 2-point lead, although Cobbins with an and one, and this game is back tied up, and this is a little bit more of what we expected, Bill. Two heavyweights slugging it out.
Yeah, what surprises me is that Westmoor hasn't gotten themselves back into this game necessarily through the three-point line. They're just getting it now by taking some good shots and starting to make some of the good shots that they're getting.
Cobbins doesn't connect on her three-point play.
And battling for rebounds like DeMagas did in that last possession.
Contact in the backcourt, and there was a lot of contact on that last drive, but I thought it was a good no call because the two Westmoor defenders were already stationary on that drive.
Well, what I've seen with this officiating crew is that they're not calling those reactionary calls. They're kind of waiting to see the play go through.
Which is what you want as a coach. Nice feed inside to Cobbins. She can't get it to go. DeMagas with that last feed, and it wasn't Gu for once. There's Alcantara trying to get it going. She still cannot. She's now 0 for 5 from the field.
Yeah, and I believe all 5 of those attempts have been beyond the arc.
They have been indeed. But she hustled back defensively to get that deflection.
I think for Alcantara, she's got to keep taking those open shots. Something tells me they're going to start dropping.
Seeley leads all scorers, or check that, leads MA in scoring with 8 off the bench. Reverse layup by Sparrow, no good. Here's Seeley again. Hits the top of the backboard. And the underneath official couldn't see it. So the outside official says MA's ball. We mentioned MA's assistant, Coach Keogh for Westmoor. His assistant, Jay Ocampo, did a great job on MLK Day. I was there doing the public address in a fantastic game, Westmoor against St. Francis, and Coach Keogh couldn't make the game, and Coach Campo did. And here's an and one by Naomi Bear. To finish my point, Bill, is Ocampo led Westmoor to a last-second, last-shot victory over WCAL Power St. Francis.
Bear is shooting one.
And Bear with a nice penetration there to get the basket. Westmoor has come out of that zone and went to a man-to-man, trying to increase the defensive pressure.
Correction. Westmoor foul, number 33. Cobbins.
That last foul was charged to Cobbins. Coach Coleman didn't like the fact that there was a public address announcement being made while her player was shooting free throws. Illegal screen called against Demagus. She thinks she was just standing there, and so does head coach Mike Keogh. Referee Todd Zio made that call. A little bit of confusion here as the ball was inbounded. There was a whistle, a buzzer, and now they want to get the correct number, and it was 13.
That last foul was on number 13, Joe Marcus.
So
That was her first.
having a rough time there, getting everything coordinated. The public address announcer is John Horgan.
I don't believe either team has anybody really in foul trouble at this point, do they?
I think Cobbins may have just picked up her third. Three-point attempt, and it's McClanahan, last night's leading scorer. McClanahan, she's just a freshman off the bench, and she gives MA a 5-point lead. All that work almost for nothing there, Bill.
Well, she had a lot of room to take that shot and took her time.
10 seconds on the shot clock. It's go time. As opposed to go time. It's Liang from deep. Rebound backed away. Naomi Bear. Bear can't finish. Rebound Sparrow. Sparrow again. Seeley from three. Got it. Seeley has come off the bench, and she has been a spark plug for the Bears, Bill. Timeout, Coach Keogh and Westmoor, their third as the Rams trail by 8. Let's take a look at that three by Seeley.
Yeah, Seeley certainly has. She doesn't look like she would be a three-point threat, but she's got a nice smooth stroke from out there.
Seeley now has 11 points to lead MA. In fact, she leads all scorers. Gu has 10 for Westmoor. It's time to say thank you to another one of our underwriters, the city of San Mateo. We are excited to have the city on board with MCTV Sports, especially since we show so many events that include the high schools in San Mateo. Those include Aragon, Hillsdale, and San Mateo High School, of course. To find out more information about San Mateo, check out the city website at cityofsanmateo.org. Thanks again to San Mateo.
Kenny, I think this is a crucial point for Westmoor. They battled back to get the lead, and now they find themselves down by 8.
Led 31-29. Here's Gu. Gu. Contact, no foul. Rebound, out of bounds to the Rams. She just takes a licking and keeps on ticking with those penetrations. She just bounces off of bodies, and she gets up every time.
Yeah, I think one of the problems for us, she's not getting the foul calls that I think, with her penetration that she's looking for.
She's having trouble inbounding the ball. Finally finds Perez. Liang looking inside, and Sparrow got the deflection. Credit that to Sparrow.
Yeah, and that should have been a bounce pass rather than a over-the-top pass.
Lana Bear, number 22, Bill.
Demagus was giving up about 5 inches on that matchup.
Yeah, there wasn't much to be gained by that. 7 seconds left on the shot clock, and Seeley turns it over.
Rams ball.
Trailing by 8 here with just 46 seconds left are the PAL North Division champions, Westmoor, against the South Division champions, Menlo-Atherton. Goo for 3. The co-MVP is off the mark. Back the other way, McClanahan. Lana Bear.
And Westmoor has switched back to that zone, applying pressure from the guards up top, but the rest of the players sitting back in that 2-3.
Foul on Araya Perez. Alcantara comes in for Liang. Westmoor needs Alcantara to get hot. She's normally a really good three-point shooter, although she struggled tonight.
Well, I also think they need to keep this game under double digits.
That'll help the Rams' cause. Bear missed the free throw. Seven seconds left in the quarter. Deep 3 by Perez. No good. Rebound. Goo checks the clock. Steps back for 3. And she doesn't hit it. But again, another sign of how smart she is. She got that rebound and she took a glance at the other end of the court for the clock. Saw she had about a second left and launched it up. I mean, just all around impressive Yasmin Goo. If you are enjoying watching this program or any other programs on MCTV, consider becoming an MCTV underwriter. It's a great way to get your name on local television and to support the Millbrae community. And of course, your support is crucial in helping MCTV to produce quality programming with a local focus. For info on underwriting opportunities or to sign up for an underwriting package, contact MCTV at 259-2343 or send an email to info@mctv.tv. And Bill, we just ended the third quarter, 39-31 MA leads. At the end of the second quarter, 27-21 MA led. And at the end of the first quarter, 19-8 MA led. It's been dominated from start to this point by MA, although Westmoor had that one opportunity where they actually got the lead.
Yeah, and the question is, does Westmoor have one more run in them in this fourth quarter? If they don't, obviously, I mean, MA has been very comfortable in what they're doing. To Coleman's credit, she didn't switch when Westmoor got the lead. She stuck with what she's doing defensively and offensively and back up to that 8-point lead, as you mentioned.
It's been an 11-3 run since Westmoor took the lead 29-28 at the 5:20 mark of the third quarter. So they went the last 5:20 of the third and only scored 3. There's Seeley with the putback of her own miss, and the Rams haul in the rebound. Alatua did the honors. Goo, a lot of time left. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Alcantara, and she still is a bit off. Oh, and some aggressive play there as Seeley threw an elbow at the end of that on Cobbins. And we'll see what the call is, and they give Seeley the foul.
MA foul, number 45, Seeley.
Boy, if we could save a replay on that, I'd love to see that at the end of the play if we have it. Cobbins took a shot somewhere near the jaw, I think. And a turnover as Goo's pass was deflected by Bear, Naomi, and then it went off of a Ram player's hands. I believe it was Cobbins.
Yeah, I believe it was Coggins also. Didn't look like she was quite ready for that pass.
And she was popping out to the corner on the ball side. She's got to be ready. McClanahan, drive and kick. Sparrow for 3. And we got a loose ball foul on Menlo-Atherton. That'll be their 5th team foul. Westmoor has 7, so MA is going to be shooting bonus the rest of the way.
Seeley came off the court there looking a little bit upset. Or maybe she just needs a breather.
Yeah, a little winded. She's logged some good minutes for the Bears and their head coach, Markeisha Coleman. Gu tiptoes the sideline. Nice move by DeMagas. And it's off the mark.
Someone's going to have to heat up for Westmoor for them to get back into this.
Naomi Bear runs into Cobbins. No charge, no block, no call. Good no call, I think, Bill.
Well, to me, that could have been an offensive foul. I thought Dobbins had position. Bear initiated the contact. But again, these referees have been waiting for the play to finish out.
And they like the players to go down to the ground when they take a charge. Fouls on Alatua. So Sparrow's going to go to the free throw line. Sparrow has not shot a free throw tonight. She's got 4 points and 7 rebounds. Naomi Bear, 6 points, 8 rebounds. She has the most rebounds in the game. Westmoor currently only has 4 players on the floor.
And that's because Alatua just got her 5th foul.
That comes at the 6:42 mark. See how much of a factor that is. Sparrow makes her first, increases the lead to 9 for Menlo-Atherton. Misses the second. Gu. Liang. No can do. Rebound Sparrow.
And Westmoor just continues to struggle from beyond the arc.
Inside shot missed by Hoyam, and a rebound putback is good. Naomi Bear. Boy, she has had quite a night this evening. She's really played well, Bill.
Well, she's doing for Menlo-Atherton what Gu is doing for Westmoor. And that is a little bit of everything.
Bear is shooting one.
And she completes the three-point play. She now has 9 points and 9 rebounds, Bill. It's a 12-point bulge for MA and a turnover for Westmoor.
And I'm surprised that Westmoor's not picking up full court.
6:08 left. Coach Mike Keogh in his 3rd year has won league championships in all 3 years and a county title last year, enjoying great success with a 63-19 career mark in those 3 years.
Well, they didn't pick up full court, but they certainly increased the half-court pressure.
And a putback by Hoyam, the freshman. And the lead is 14. MA's threatening to run away with this, Bill.
Right now, it certainly looks that way.
Cobbins takes it to the rack. Does not finish. Here comes Sparrow. McClanahan has her shot blocked by Gu, and Gu hustles to retrieve it, rolls on the floor, somehow finds DeMagas. She's met with some contact underneath, no call again.
It's definitely been a physical game.
Hoya missed. There's Bear again with a rebound. She's fouled going up. That's her 10th rebound. And with 9 points going to the line, if she makes one of these free throws, we're witnessing a double-double for Naomi Bear, a senior for the Bears.
That is her 3rd.
Timeout Menlo-Atherton, so we'll have to wait till after this break to see if Naomi gets her double.
Yeah,
MA's second timeout.
I'm not sure that Coleman wanted that timeout. There was a little discussion there with the referee, and she finally kind of agreed, okay, we'll take it.
Thank you very much for joining MCTV in the Mills High Art of Video class in this MCTV sports production. We do have DVD and Blu-ray copies of today's game for sale. Just go to mctv.tv/buy and look for the DVD cover on our Square store. You can also give us a call at 259-2343 and we'll take your order over the phone. DVD sales go to support the production of more MCTV sports events, so you are helping to keep our excellent sports programming going. For more info, give us a call or check our website, mctv.tv. And what a great gift that would be to get a DVD or Blu-ray copy as a parent who may be watching and give it to their child, and hopefully they'll keep it forever and ever. And Bill, wouldn't you love a copy of one of your games back in the day?
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind seeing what kind of a player I was back in the day.
Naomi Dare
Something
is
tells me I
shooting
wasn't
to
as good as I thought I was.
It would be worth so much. I mean, I can't even think of a price that I wouldn't pay to have something from back in the day. In other words, go ahead and pick one up if you're watching and you have somebody playing on the floor tonight in the championship game of the PAL tournament on MCTV Sports. With that last free throw, Bear does have that double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds. What a great night for the senior to finish off her tournament career, although CCS is coming up next. And at this point, MA, unless they totally collapse, is going to win their second tourney championship, with their last coming in 2008.
Well, absolutely every possession is key for Westmoor at this point. Down by 15, it's going to take a bit for them to get back into this.
They're going to have to hit a bunch of threes and put together a furious full court press. Gu outside. This zone by MA has just been very difficult. It's kind of like a matchup zone, and around the perimeter, there's just not many open looks.
You just took the words out of my mouth, literally. They've stayed with it all night, and Westmoor's just had a difficult time with it.
Alcantara was off on her three. Sparrow had the rebound, but a feisty Araya Perez, the 5'4" senior for Westmoor, wrestled it away from Sparrow, held ball, and the Rams have another crack at this 15-point deficit. There goes Araya Perez. She's fouled, no call, but she makes the kiss off the glass.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact on that one, and I think it could have been a three-point play.
Wide open was Sparrow. Lana Bear with the assist, and it's back to 15. And no full court press after that bucket for Westmoor. They look a little worn down. Gu is called for traveling.
And they look a little frustrated. Well, we said at the beginning that it was going to be a matchup of size versus speed, and it's been MA size that has taken Westmoor out of their game.
And you look at the size as Westmoor calls their fourth timeout. They just have one left, and every girl that was on the floor before that timeout of MA was taller than every girl on Westmoor that was on the floor.
And that, what that's been able to do is having those kind of players defend the perimeter, is that Westmoor has not been able to get really good looks for their three-point attempts. There's been a hand in their face almost all night.
There's a shot at Mike Keogh and his assistant coach, J.O. Campo, trying to get some energy out of the girls and make them believe that they can come back from this 15-point deficit with 3:42 left. And on the other side, Markeisha Coleman in her first year, instructing her girls to be patient and finish this off. They can taste it, but they can't quite get it yet.
Well, I think a basket here by MA could just be the end of the game.
In the first round, Menlo-Atherton beat South City 44-28 on Wednesday, and then last night beat Half Moon Bay 54-45. That's how they arrived here in the finals. Lana Bear to Naomi Bear. McClanahan to Hoyam, one freshman to another, and the two freshmen turn it over. Westmoor arrived with a win last Wednesday, 53-39 over Carlmont, and then last night in a come-from-behind win, they beat Hillsdale 41-25. They actually were down 19-15 at the half. Expended a lot of energy in that.
Yeah, nice vision by Gu. Didn't result in anything.
She launches a three, and it's blocked by Sparrow. Wrestling for the ball. Gu drives the lane, finds Cobbins, can't finish. Her own rebound, put back, still no. Gu in there. Outside for three. That was Perez with the rebound and the assist.
And I think Cobbins might have gotten away with a foul on that rebound.
Gu manning up Bear. Bear with a dish inside and a foul called on Gu. Hoyam will go to the free throw line. Tonight, Hoyam is 3 for 4.
Yeah, that was a nice penetration and dish off by Alana Bear on that last play.
Missed the first free throw. Here's that last play scramble. Gu with the drive and dish here to Cobbins. We didn't finish the end of the play, but it was Cobbins missing that shot attempt. She got her own rebound, missed that. Then Perez got the rebound, kicked it out to Gu for three. One free throw was made. And it's a 13-point lead for the Bears. 2.5 to go in the championship. Gu with the drive. Contact, no call, and she somehow gets it to go. Here comes the Ram press. It's an 11-point game. Cobbins steps right into Bear with great defensive position, gets the steal. Trying to get it in single digits. Gu with the spin. Gu is fouled on the drive, and that's only the 16th foul. And Gu is exhausted, Bill.
Well, she has definitely given all that she has to try and keep Westmoor in this game.
Gu inbounds to Cobbins. There'll be a ceremony after the game. We're going to broadcast to you live on MCTV, so stay tuned. There's a three-pointer by Alcantara, off again, and it's been a rough night for the senior, number 2.
Yeah, it definitely has. Disappointing for her. And
turnover, steal by Perez. Perez drives the lane, and a blocking foul. Count the basket. Araya Perez, the 5'4" senior, and she took it right into the big trees inside for MA.
Well, that's about the 3rd or 4th time she's done that tonight. She has no fear going in there.
She's a senior that's been giving it her all. Here's a look again. Good call and a good finish.
And they have cut it to single digits. Single
Perez
digit, rather.
Perez now with 4 points. Misses the free throw. Free throw has been a factor. 8 of 12 has been Westmoor. From the field, 14 of 59, 24% for Westmoor. For MA from the field, 15 of 52, 29%. They're 14 of 23 from the free throw line. The rebound advantage, Bill, like you talked about at the beginning, has really come into play. MA 33 rebounds to Westmoor's 21. That's that size you talked about.
And, you know, those rebounds equal possessions. And That's what Westmoor needs, is possessions.
Seeley missed another free throw.
To me, if there's a key point in this game, it was when Westmoor actually got the lead. I believe they had a lead of 3 or 4, and MA didn't get rattled. They just continued what they were doing, and now they've built it back up to a double-digit lead.
Minute 28, and it's 10. Gu was able to rest briefly during that free throw. Next foul. And there'll be free throws for Westmoor. Three-pointer from the corner by Liang is off. Rebound, Seeley. Full court pressure. Coleman thought about calling a timeout, decided not to. Gu diving on the floor again. She's putting it all out there. A loose ball, and Westmoor wasted an opportunity as that ball was flying all over the place. And as soon as MA got possession, Coach Coleman called timeout, her third. She's got 2 left, and Westmoor has 1.
Definitely a sloppy possession there for MA, but they've got a 10-point cushion with under a minute.
The final standings in the PAL South, once again, MA at 11-1 in first. Hillsdale finished second at 10-2. Mills was third at 8-4. Tie for third between Carlmont and Cappuccino, or tie for fourth, if you will. Followed by Aragon and Burlingame at 6-6. Sequoia and San Mateo were 2-10, and Woodside was last at 1-11. For the North, Westmoor went 12-0 undefeated. Half Moon Bay was second at 9-3. In third was Terra Nova at 8-4. It was a tie for fourth between South City and Oceana at 5-7. El Camino finished 6 at 3-9, and Jefferson was last, went 0-12 in the PAL North. So both league champions and top seeds in the PAL tournament battling here in the championship game. And the Bears with the lead, 50-40. They'll go to the line with Sparrow. Just 50 seconds left in this one.
That is her third double bonus. Sparrow.
I'm Kenny Milch alongside Bill McCarthy. You're watching MCTV Sports Live, and Sparrow at the line with a pair here can just about seal it, Bill.
Yeah, I would think so. 12-point lead. Missed that one, but a possible 11-point lead. It's just taken too long for Westmoor to get shots off.
That zone has been very effective. 15 of 26 has been MA at the line, so they've kind of given Westmoor some opportunities, or at least a window, as Sparrow knocks down the second and makes it an 11-point game.
Well, it's definitely been MA's defense that has brought them to this point.
Very deep three-point attempt by Perez. Rebound Seeley. Howell is fouled by Gu.
On the shooting chart that I have here for Westmoor, I don't have the exact percentage, but I see an awful lot of misses.
That is her fourth double bonus. Howell is shooting 2.
Howell at the line, double bonus. So MA with this championship and already a high Division I CCS ranking. They're ranked 4th. Palo Alto is 1st, Piedmont Hill 2nd, North Salinas 3rd. Then it's MA. Have a great shot at a possible 1 or 2 seed, depending on how many teams go to the open division. There's a rebound, put back, and a miss by Seeley. Here comes Westmoor and Gu. One final shot, and Gu is fouled by McClanahan, and she'll go to the free throw line.
And that may have been the least amount of contact that she had on her drives tonight, and gets the foul and goes to line, but I don't think it's going to make a difference at this point.
Westmoor will also, of course, advance to the Central Coast Section playoffs, and they have a chance at maybe a 4 or a 5 seed, depending again on how many teams will go to the Open. They've had a great resume at 20-6, and with this loss they'll go to 20-7. So both these teams are going to be heard from in CCS, and we'll get a high seed and at least a 1 or 2 round bye. Or Seeley with a putback.
Sealy.
You know, and as MA comes 20 seconds away from winning the county title, what's scary for the rest of the league is how young they are.
Good point, Bill. Double dribbles by McClanahan. Well, let's take a look at it. Sealy is just a sophomore, number 45. Hoyam, number 41, is just a freshman. Sparrow is just a sophomore. Lana Bear, another sophomore. So then you got McClanahan, who's a freshman. There's 6 players that'll be returning next year. And Markeisha Coleman has a little gold mine over there in Atherton. Ten seconds left, and now they'll run out the title. Gu does not let him run out the clock.
No, she doesn't.
She's going to fight till the bitter end.
She's figuring there's 4 seconds left in this game. I'm going to keep playing.
And her county tournament career, the senior, she got one last year. And she just fights all the way to the end. Wanted a foul there, didn't get it, but the Menlo-Atherton Bears are victorious, 54-42. They win the county championship of the PAL for 2015.
Impressive performance by Menlo-Atherton. I thought they played real well last night. They let Half Bouquet kind of get back into it. Similar game tonight in that they dominated for most of the game. Westmoor got back into it, and then they just put them right back down.
They were led in scoring by Ofa Sealy off the bench, who had 14 points and 7 rebounds. Naomi Bear with that double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds. Megan Sparrow, 8 points and 10 rebounds also. Sarah Howell had 7, including 2 3-pointers. With 6 points was Hoyam, 5 points for McClanahan, and Lana Bear had 4. And now they're announcing the post-tournament honors. Let's listen in to the public address announcer, John Horgan, who will do the honors.
Yasmin Gu. Daphne Fulgencio. Sabrina Tan. Brianna Domagas. Giselle Mahine. Casey Liang. Julianne Jaladoni. Nora Alatua. Saka Tagawai. And Tierra Cobbins. And now the second place plaque will be awarded to the Westmoor coach, Michael Keogh. Congratulations and best of luck in the CCS tournament. And now for the Bears of Menlo-Atherton, PAL tournament champions. Their first place medals will now be awarded. First to Sarah Howell. Annalisa Crow. Aaron Goody. Ilana Bear. Maddie Kim. Naomi Bear. Carly McLanahan. Megan Sparrow. Carolyn Watson. Sally Carlson. Greer Hoyam. Ofa Silly. And Delilah Klein. And now the championship plaque will be awarded to the head coach of Menlo-Atherton, Markeisha Coleman. Congratulations.
So there you have it. Menlo-Atherton wins the county title and moves on to the CCS playoffs with a 22-5 record. They beat Westmoor 54-42, led by Ofa Sealy's 14 points and Bears double-double. Yasmin Gu, 17 points and 6 rebounds for the Rams, but the story was on the rebounding edge, 36-23. Menlo-Atherton as they take some pictures and enjoy their championship, and we will take a brief pause as we wrap things up here for the girls contest and we get set for the boys championship coming up next. It's the Mills Vikings hosting the Sequoia Cherokees on MCTV Sports live from Mills High School. For Bill McCarthy and our entire MCTV Sports crew, I'm Kenny Milch saying, hold on just a minute. The boys are up next, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Millbrae Community Television would like to thank the following: the City of Millbrae, Millbrae, a city in the sun, the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce, the Magnolia of Millbrae, Alma Masola. Thanks again from Millbrae Community Television.